Kyle Shanahan, big fan of the show, watching right now, most likely would like our advice. I mean, he's got his game plan set, but he knows that there's probably a couple of pointers that we could tell him right now that would increase his likelihood of winning. Rob, what would your advice be for Kyle for this Sunday?
I'd say, Kyle, don't hold anything back in getting the run game going. Do not use that motion early and often. I'm stealing this one from Mina Kimes. She threw out today. Dallas allows 6.1 yards per carry to teams that use motion on offense. Third worst in the league. Guess who uses the most motion on offense in the NFL? The San Francisco 49ers.
Where do you get a stat like that? I love that.
That's amazing. You get that stat when you have 17 people that work for you at ESPN and they do the research.
I mean, how many interns had to watch how many hours of football to figure? That's great, though. There's motion. Oh, was that motion? Did that count as motion? It's motion. Anyway, that's great. That's what the Niners do. That bodes well.
Yeah, there's literally some dude whose job it is to watch every game in the NFL and be like, motion, no motion, motion, no motion.
Do. That's why we get such high rates for our consulting business. But here's what I would say, Kyle, like, don't overthink this. I know that Dan Quinn over there he's the X factor in this game because you feel like he knows what you're going to do. And you're like, well, if I know that he knows that I know that he knows what I'm going to do, don't do that, Kyle. Don't do that. You have the better team here. Make him who cares what he knows about your tendencies or whatever. Good. Now you're going to lose knowing my tendencies. Like, don't let him get you out of your game.
Yes.
Because we're going to talk to him next, and I'm going to tell him how to get you. He already knows how, and I'm going to reinforce it. That's what they're going to do because they know this run game of yours is pretty much unbeatable. Once you figured out that Deebo Samuel's a running back, you're essentially undefeated when you commit to it. So he's going to have to try to figure out a way to get in your head. So just remember that you're basically that you're 6-0 when Deebo Samuel gets 6 or more touches in a game. So that's your job, is to give him at least 6. You didn't do that in Tennessee. You gave him 5. The 6th might have been the touchdown that won the game. You never know, because really he's averaging a touchdown every 7.5. It's on you, Kyle. Make sure Deebo Samuel gets enough opportunities to be the best player in the league.
Kyle Shanahan, according to Steve Young, and I love the interview that he did with Matt Mayoko midseason that came out. I agree wholeheartedly. Kyle Shanahan is like a bloodhound. He goes after finding that blood in the water. He sniffs it out, finds that weakness in the defense, and then attacks it relentlessly. Well, whatever you need to do to find that weakness early, Kyle, whether it is varying your play calling to suss it out, you need to get on that and then be relentless in the attack of Dallas, because you need to get out early on Dallas. They are a far better team when they're playing with a lead.
Bill's assistants go the a-hole route and it fails. Yeah, Bill Belichick. I don't think McDaniel will. That's not really his personality. Thanks, Randall. Appreciate it. Jimmy beats Dallas in playoffs. Washington will call. Washington. Ooh. That's a team that is itching to make a bad decision. I like it.
Yes, that's a franchise that loves bad decisions.
Oh, they've been majoring in bad decisions since 1999. Dallas 31st in giving up big play, second play deep one.
That goes back to the play action pass, taking that deep shot.
Yeah, man. If they start calling deep passes for Jimmy Garoppolo, that would be kind of out of the norm. But
I'm okay with it when we are between the 40s. If it's second and short between the 40s, by all means, take one shot. But you can't get behind and down in distance. If it's not 2nd and 4 or less, you can't waste that down, because the San Francisco 49ers so far this year have shown that they're just not great at coming back when behind and down in distance.